It is often said that men are only loved, or let us say embraced, accepted for what they can bring. Simply put, as long as you remain a provider or a major provider, you remain relevant, not inconsequential. But the day you cease to be, either through RIP, the focus is on what you have or what they think you will multiply in your demise. Ladies and gentlemen, it is still on justice for Mohbad. You will be shocked. I want you guys to prepare for this one. Be prepared because it might come as a rude shock. In fact, you will not believe what you are about to experience. It is so scary. It is so scary. So scary. And it's quite unbelievable. How quick, swift human beings can forget about you or dispose you at the slightest last breath on the surface of the earth. So we've seen a lot of intrigues, and in fact, I do not need to tell you of it all, particularly if you have been subscribed to this platform and you've been following it back to back. You must have seen, you must have heard a lot, so much as to make you want to think twice, make you want to process your thoughts differently. And somehow, I want to believe that you must have learned one or two things on this journey of justice for Mohbad. Like I said, be prepared for this because you're about to see something that will shock you beyond your understanding. I mean, beyond your imagination. It will shock you so much that you want to ponder much more. In fact, there are certain actions that you want to take, or actions that you should have taken. Maybe now you begin to take such action in your life. Well, something came up on justice for Mohbad. I mean, ever since Cynthia came out to do her thing on TV back then, and apart from the corona inquest, indicting this person, blaming that person, calling out this and that and all of that, people are not really talking about Cynthia per se. But all of a sudden, something came up and hell broke loose. Please like, share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Let's get right into this one.
Oh yeah, Kashimari, I want to see, I want Misuru. Again, I wash your buy one of his best clothes. Eba mi waffle. So within 3 hours, his place of residence is now under the staircase. And then people are saying you're a widow. Does widowership means that your sense of dignity and love will be lost? Sense of trying to preserve and respect the Kosimbemo. Now, Tiba Baba Wole, hey, did not she preserve a staircase there because one more body to Tini go is like all Lukaki. So only one lati da pada so the bed here because all she fell one lay. Tiba Baba Wole, you came into the house. You found your son, your beloved son, a star near the staircase. Your own brother, his own brother, Omo yeah, Babe, one be. Aburo yeah, one be. Nínú létí ìyàwó ẹ̀ wà ńbẹ̀ tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ tójú tọkàn. Nínú létí ọmọ ẹ̀ wà ńbẹ̀. If his son was mature, I'm sorry you can never do that to his father while he was there. Ó lè lu gbogbo yín pa. Ó kó lé yín bọ́ta. àti ìyá àti gbogbo ẹ̀ pé ó wọlé ó bá ìyá ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó bá bàbá ẹ̀ nílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ báwo lè ṣe máa fi kó jẹ́ pé ọkùnrin ló kú ọkùnrin ló wà láyé ìyá obìnrin ló wà kọ́ wá tẹ̀sábẹ́ staircase táwọn òbí ẹ̀ bá dé tó bá ba lábẹ́ staircase kí ni wọ́n máa sọ gbogbo àwọn girls tó wà lórí social media yìí wọ́n gbọ́ àkáǹtì yìí ń tán pariwo ẹ ti gbègùn. It's not we cannot lè gba nǹkan burúkú sórílẹ̀-èdè because ìdílé kọ̀ọ̀kan ló máa rò pé òun fẹ́ ṣe ìwà àbàjẹ́ àwọn náà máa ẹ̀mí ti wà ìgún sínú ìlú òun ló máa di àṣà kò ṣe pé máa gbé wá fún wa fò wá bá wa it must come from a family. The baba now got into the house you saw that your son ọmọ ológo ìdílé yìí ọmọ tó ti ń lọ lóyìnbó ẹ jẹ́ kó rí pẹ̀lú family wa o tí bá lọ kú tẹ bá ṣòkú mi anyhow tẹ lọ ṣe bọ́yẹ ṣe Mohbad màá máa gún gbogbo yín létí o ẹ bá ní cancer of the finger àbáyé yín má bàjẹ́ màá dà yín láàmú kiri anywhere ilé tí mo kọ́ fúnra mi tí mo jẹ ìyàkọ́ ẹ kọ́kọ́ pákéjì mi náà master bedroom mo gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́kọ́ wà ẹ ṣí èsì lé mi lórí ẹ fún mi ní aṣọ tó wà òkè ẹ jẹ́ kó rí yàrá yẹ anybody pé omi ò rán ẹ ṣe family mi o but ẹ kọ́ lè lọ opportunity gbà ẹ tí bá lọ kú tẹ́kọ̀ lọ gbé mi sẹ́kùlé abẹ́kọ̀ lọ pákéjì sí ara wèrè kọ́ ẹ rí pé mi ìlú lọ bọ̀rọ̀ màá kọ́ máa da ọgbọ yín láàmú ẹ ń jẹ ewédú báyìí máa kọ̀ bá burú jú mi nu ewédú ni èyí tó bá jẹ́ ẹ̀fọ́ ẹ kọ́ rí mi gbìrì ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀mí kan máa dá wọn lọ́rùn ni ẹbí ò tí wà mo ti kú already ẹ baba God ẹ fi kéèsì tèmi síjọ mi mo fẹ́ bá wọn lè kó wàhálà mo ti sọ lẹ̀ síbi ẹbí gbogbo family ẹ jẹ́ kó bí ò ní kú I can die anytime ẹ fún mi ní packaging bí ẹ pé mo wà important ní ayé ẹ bá sáré sọ pé wèrè ó ti lọ ẹ yá ètè package ẹ wá sáré package mi sí kọ̀rọ̀ bìkọ́ tẹ́pẹ́ máa sinmi kò ṣe pé máa sinmi síbi jẹ́ pé ok wọ́n fẹ́ gbọ́mọ wọlé wọ́n fẹ́ máa rúyàn bàbá tó fojú lórí ìrìnkúrì torí mọ̀ kọ́ máa padà tó dóyàn lólé yẹn so kẹfì mi sí kọ́nà tó yẹ pé díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni màá rí tí máa yí díẹ̀ ni màá rí pọ́ ok wọ́n ti fẹ́ lọ délé mọ́ ilé tí mo jẹ yà wọ́n ti fẹ́ lọ rún mọ́ rẹ̀. ẹ wá gbé òkú ẹgbẹ́ síbẹ̀ bàbá ẹ wá rí yẹn when you now go to the house you found your son in that compromising situation no dignity according to the baba ọ̀nà tó ti yẹ̀ bá mi lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ if it is a statement that we have to accept ẹ jọ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ àìlówólówó pàmí lórúkọ dá lẹ́nu tí ẹ sọ pé ọmọ iṣẹ́ wọ́n ṣe declare pé kú ẹ ti sáré ẹ̀ ń bá mu láàrin 2-3 hours kí ló dé ṣe fẹ́ kó kú ẹ ti retí kó kú tẹ́lẹ̀ have you been expecting him to actually leave this to buy suddenly you've already packaged whatever you're packaging kọ́lọ̀ dá jìbì èèyàn kan wà bí wọ́n rẹ̀ sí mo pàdé lórí ibi tí wọ́n ṣe mo kọ sí àwọ̀ ọbẹ̀ ìyẹn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ ó sọ ìbò wèrè ó sọ ìbò kan ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kóòtù nǹkan tó kànú gọ́gù ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ fèmí mo ní kò sẹ́jọ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín justice for Mohbad náà ló kó everybody papọ̀ a máa lò bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ṣùgbọ́n ìta mú sọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ máa róòtọ́ ẹ̀ka tó yọ ọ́ kúrò mẹ́ ẹ wá wọlé you found out that your ológun ọmọ a star if all his colleagues if they want to come they want to walk in there if media should bump in what would they be reporting of the last moments of the young boy in his own house hospital mi tó bá gbọ́ pé tó bá tiẹ̀ rí caliber àwọn tó jẹ́ pé this is Mohbad tó náà colleague wọ́n á lọ wá one of the stuff wọ́n package síbẹ̀ ni mortuary ẹ̀tẹ́dà ti gan ó máa sáré package akẹ́ because àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ẹni yìí lẹ́nì títí tó máa fi wọlé agbọ́dọ̀ fi ẹyẹ ìkẹyìn ẹyẹ ní that's why ìwọ̀n ló ṣe pé ní ẹyẹ ìkẹyìn kò ń ṣe ẹyẹ lẹ́yìn wá right before you Wunmi if you are listening to me ó fún lẹ́yẹ o ìtìjú àti ìpòrú ló fi ẹyin ìkẹyìn tó fi if that is you are giving orders. I purposely go back to this because you were conscious and mentally stable enough to give instruction. No, I don't want to believe. Acting that it is out of care. ó pé ẹ bá mi gbé lọ sókè sórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì wa kó wọnú cupboard mú aṣọ tó jójú lówó tó bá wá le jù kó jẹ́ aṣọ tẹ́ fi ṣe introduction àbí wedding tẹ́ ṣe ẹ bá mi wọ̀ fún ó ní ẹ wọ̀ fún kó ẹ wo owó báyìí ṣe Gbénga Adébóyè ẹ wà wọ́n yàn celebrity ó ti ẹ̀ rò pé what if any media or blogger àbí wèrè ẹlẹ́wọ̀n gist lover yín kó tiẹ̀ kọ ya picture ní compromising position and don't be surprised, let me burst your bubble, even the pictures of those moments are available but not in the hands of the media. Then talking about it, only to other one, they might put it in whatever they want to put it, but it's already there. Bàbá wa débẹ̀ orí ẹlẹ́tú rẹ́jẹ̀ ẹ lè sọ pé ẹ rí pé orí ojú Wùnmí ó wú bí ẹ lè sọ pé ẹ rí sign ó lè jẹ́ ojú ẹ̀ tó wú níbi tó ti ń defend Mohbad ni ó máa yé ra bó ṣe sọ yẹn ó lè jẹ́ ojú ẹ̀ tó wú bí tó ti jọ ń jà ni ẹ má pa ẹ má ṣe ìgbàgbé bóyá ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀yin lẹ tún wá ń di ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. You might think you fought and tried to defend him. If I want to pick, I will pick that you were trying to even fight for Mohbad because Mohbad was already weak and you noticed that they were about to take his life. But these are people that you know and you know what was happening. In tell me money because they saw be tori ojo yera wa. Àsìkò tá máa gbé stamp láwọn tá ń sọ as an activist, as a human rights ambassador ó ń bọ̀ tí máa sọ pé báyìí ni kàsà kò ń ṣe mo rò báyìí torí pé òwúyẹ́ lọ́rọ̀ torí èmi ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ débi pé I will not speak, I won't be able to come and attend to his questions anywhere I go. Mo lè mú yẹn lápá bẹ̀ yẹn. But the fact remains that if the father now you got into the house ẹ wá padà rí ẹni bọ́ ṣe ṣe òkú ọmọ ẹlẹ́ balẹ̀ ìyá aláǹgànà tó pèrè ẹlẹ́gbọ̀n Kàrímọ́ tó ti dìzón bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ kó sọ pé òun rí broken railings ó tún fi ọmọ ẹ̀ testify tó wà nílùú Amẹ́ríkà pé kó jẹ́rìí pé Wùnmí bá Mohbad jà ní railings ẹ̀ fi break lójijì ó tún sọ pé gbogbo railings àti gbogbo ẹ̀ tó break yẹn ṣé kò ṣojú àdúrà ni. This same sick Karimo will come out and tell you, àdúrà kan ló shut me up. But ìwọ confirm pé release inú lé wọ́n break nítorí pé Wùnmí bá ọkọ ẹ̀jà. Ìjà tó wá jà yẹn ṣé àdúrà travel lọ sí Gombe ni? Ṣebí ṣojú àdúrà náà lọ ṣe máa jà. So tádúrà bá wá kọ́ pé nǹkan bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ oníkò ṣàdúrà ló kọ́ Dàmọ́lá ni. Can you tell for free pé Dàmọ́lá wà nílé tẹ̀mù yẹn? So o expect pé ibi tó yẹ kí ibi tádúrà wà àdúrà tí wàá gbọ́fẹ́ kúrò Dàmọ́lá ló wá replace àdúrà ńjọ́ yẹn àdúrà ló wá Dàmọ́lá yẹn ló wá nílé bọ̀ ìwọ gbà pé Wùnmí bá Mohbad jà tó affect railings àwọn àdúrà wá send the message through personal TikTok ẹ̀ ìwọ iná ló tún bọ́ta ó tún sọ mí di èèyàn burúkú mi báyìí gbogbo wọn tẹ́ wò yẹn wọ́n lè wà lamẹ́ríkà àbí kọ́ wà London wọ́n ti fi obì jíjẹ lẹ́ o wọ́n máa jobi wọ́n máa jẹ́ pẹ̀lú òfin o wọ́n máa fi tanfírí tẹ wọ́n tún máa ra pure water láti Nàìjíríà lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n máa fi jẹ obì àtòrógbó òun ni irú tèbèrí pẹ̀lú káàrí wọ́n yẹn ni tó máa ń jíjẹ láàárọ̀ nìyẹn so tọ́pọ̀ lẹ̀ tó bá ti lọ́pọ̀ báyìí táwọn kìnìyàn bá ti mix papọ̀ ìwọ ló sọ fún wa ń bì pé ó dá ẹ lójú pé ó tún pé ọmọ tó bí ó fi jẹ́rìí ó fi jẹ́rìí pé àníṣe my son in Mohbad's house ìkíní kan onírẹ́lì yẹn tún gé lọ́wọ́ so tí Wùnmí àti tó bá confirm pé Wùnmí àti Mohbad jà ní kí rẹ́lì tó lè break now question tó máa bèrè lọ́wọ́ ara ẹ ní pé ẹdúró náà tó bá jẹ́ wọ́n jà ní ìdájí lágo mẹ́ta dájú ọ̀tọ́jọ́ lọ sí show tó padà sílé àdúrà ni the only person nínú àwọn méjèèjì tó lè give account nǹkan tí wọ́n náà sọ tó bá jẹ́ pé ìjà lọ́jà tó fi affect railing tí Mohbad fi then it is just àdúrà. Then you came around and start spending your money to twist the truth to the Europe ti rí Yomi Fabi You don't know. Tell me, Shay. Call on for let me go out and laugh here. I will still help so many souls. She's trying to inject the Damola. If they fought. So, Kama Dono, let me go back to the original trajectory. And if Baba Mohbad now gets into the house, he saw the son in such a compromising state, he saw the horridness, how they suddenly quickly start the embalming process. Ibi tí mo dẹ̀ fi mọ̀ pé embalming yẹn ó real. Òun ni pé nígbà tí wọ́n accuse Darosha, ìgbà tó dé stage kan ó confirm pé òun ló ń ṣe, ó post, ó admit, ó lóun kọ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá ìgbà tí dáàdì òun kú ni. Nígbà tó rí pé it is becoming a serious criminal case, ó dà sórí àdúrà náà tún gba form. Ó ní òun lòun ṣe kí ni òun lòun embalm kì í ṣe Darosha. So that shows that bàbá yẹn ò accuse wọn lórefe because there is no basis. If Mohbad was not embalmed, if he was placed on the bed, he cannot accuse his brother-in-law of embalmment. So it was real. Certainly, our law enforcement officers, they might say because of want of evidence, no picture, no anything, I won't believe where embalmment were. So when that terrible person was asking me, was there an embalmment? I look at this and I say, you people are just messing around on social media. And you know, nobody knows your face. Mo pe un tó ń bí ọmọ padà bí un kini yẹn àwọn gba àwọn àjọ̀dún àti gbogbo ìsàòkú the Mohbad's grave they know who you are who identify him. He is fighting for a bigger cause kó tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí attend sí gbogbo ilé gangan. So at the end of the day, Baba now seeing the son within 2 hours they declare him gone in hospital. If he's not on the way, it's a different ball game. And suddenly, why imagine? At what time? Si Baba sọ pé òun wá bá òun dé ilé yẹn be 8 to 9 o'clock. Now listen to Wimi here. She said, we brought the second nurse and was with us throughout the night. That means there was no embalmment. Because if Baba could have been in the house as at 9 o'clock, so they supposed to embalm. On that same day, I want to know nurse kejiwa. That means to call the second nurse, it will be 8 to 9 o'clock or even 10 o'clock. Because she said the nurse and the overnight throughout the night. And said Baba even met one of the nurses and asked that, okay, nurse, I don't have any problem with her, she can go. But Baba took over, and after whatever it is, Baba don't decide the steps to take after that. So now, this is it. Look at the conflict. If Baba said he met body embalmed and Batuma VDB 11, they want to hear crone in our estate here, ambulance. So that means they have gone to look for ambulance like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Ambulance today, koto mudi wole, koto bejade, koto control crowd. So most certainly, to ba je pe 12 yẹn náà la ṣe tẹ̀lé, báwo ni nurse ṣe máa wà pẹ̀lú body tó ti already embalmed throughout the night. If it is on that same 12. Because that same 12, ni Baba sọ pé àwọn gbé body tó di èrò Ìkòròdú. Ló di èrò Ìkòròdú. So I want the detectives, àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó wà l'Abuja kẹ́ máa gbọ́, kẹ́ lè mọ tẹ́fẹ́ fi Nigeria, èyí tẹ́ ṣe lọ kẹ́ mọ tẹ́fẹ́ fi protect, because these are the angles. Àwọn nǹkan tí àwọn tó ṣe kéèsì láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ṣe jábàjábà tí òótọ́ ṣe fúnlẹ̀ ni. And I'm happy that even the coroner judge accepts that the police investigation is not, and they should go back. So it is non-negotiable. It is the instruction and the recommendation of the coroner. So if there are things that the DPP will look into, is to look into the recommendation of the inquest. Ti Nigerian Bar Association, ti Nigerian Human Rights Watch, Break the Silence Foundation, all major human rights NGOs. It is a recommendation that police should go back. And no, the truth is, the police are already on it. We initiated contact with the president in April, and by May, we rounded it up by following the diplomatic channel and submit a letter to the president via the Nigerian ambassador to UK in May 2025. That was one led to the presidency giving the order that my team police officers should release their hands and everything. They should harmonize everything and bring everything. And they took it to Abuja for prosecution. So prosecution is coming very shortly. And by the special grace of God, we will all smile. We will smile, and you will trust me that now this is a government that is standing by the masses. So basically, Baba Padawari. Now, if it's one not one lejulele, make it about the power tap. I can borrow a power tap. If I dake, I just have a play on Mohbad law. A power tap, I just can 70,000. Power tap, send gifts, share the live. Come on, I want you bo. I tell what FYP, a wole, ilé, tell what baby, a wole. Come on, I want you one be. A man do go. I'm nobody's enemy. Anybody can abuse me now. It's part of the things that we need to exemplify that week. If they abuse me and I'm able to listen, tell about this, stop at this sort of vulgar language. It's okay. I must not run for bullies. If I'm as an activist, as a human rights ambassador, if I start running away from bullies, what do I tell my children? How do I motivate children if I go to schools to actually speak to them? I should tell them if they are bullying you, run. So that is why you see that I'm not scared to go to some platforms, despite the fact that the platform that I went to this morning, I was 17 and they were talking beautifully and I was enjoying them because one shot at me. This is a beautiful woman, very calm. But then go post the leadership bullying. Just like America, boy, if I'm social media, I don't show me that. But one lady, this is a beautiful lady with good platform, nice pictures, picture, jabba, decent, good. And we're there. I saw with the running about there's something just prepared me. I had never a question. No, it's just Koribe by new. Modericella told me, I didn't get okay. In Batima, you got to know 1,200 and somebody. If I already 1,020 over, and I imagine a tomorrow, Coro, tomorrow, FI people, you little year, something pen bo. Even as not power, you have to be pay. I want you to very come with you. But you're a prophet, we come in here, what's the show? I'll be a question, my sorrow, I'll let court here, not with somebody, I'm an activist. God is dragging, abusing, could affect me, could affect me. You don't know. Tony Bogonto saw you to see me. In Tomati actors of human rights. I have enjoyed love. I've enjoyed support from the public. I need to what? Give back. Money, Allah Tony Mose, Tony Kwan leader of Israel. Obakwe, old lagiti, Odem Kanulu. And you call them as a follower in Itomalu. So if I'm part tap with Berry, you don't continue, you don't do other updates here. Come on, boy, am I Boloja? Am I willing?
We should allow her to go. Yeah, it was much. So we have to
I won't talk again until it's 100,000
and carry on the bike to the hospital. So we go to the hospital and the nurse, the doctor, my brother-in-law and Bani. Yes, I need water, like he needs oxygen water. Next to start having the body started having reactions, like was vomiting. So we have to carry him to Liam's room because Liam's room has AC. But he said he's still not feeling comfortable. So I knew that this one had to be done. So I ran to our neighbors because his car was faulty. Like his personal mechanic was working on his car. So I went to the mechanic. He has not even gone anywhere with the car. We cannot carry the car to the hospital. So I had to run to the next neighbor to please help us. And the neighbor accepted.
Please, our time, guys.
He followed up me upstairs to carry my husband, and I had to call on different people to just help me to carry me. So, okay, immediately such a test, that thing happened. The nurse ran to the nearest pharmacy. The nurse and the family, they ran to the nearest pharmacy to get something to calm the reaction. But, so, okay, so on our way going to the hospital, we saw Bami and the nurse, so we had to take them along. So, we stay on all chief. Okay. So, like, on our way going, there was more traffic. The traffic was really much. So, we had to just come down from the car and carry him on the bike to the hospital. So we got to the hospital, and the nurse, the doctor, my brother-in-law and Bami went to the ward. They didn't allow me to go because of the way I was doing. So when we got to the hospital, the doctor tried to examine me, and I think like 15 minutes later, just the doctor broke the news that he's dead. So immediately I heard it, it sounds funny because this was the same person I had. Like, we still spoke like a few minutes ago. We had planned on going to Lekki to give our baby. So it sounds like a trash to me. So I put a call through to his sister. I called his sister. I was just calling different people that day. I called my brother, his cousin Darusha. I just called so many people. So Darusha came to the hospital, and I told Darusha that no, my husband cannot be dead. We have to take him to the hospital. I mean, they don't know what they are doing in this hospital. So I told him that we have to take him to another hospital. So we went to another hospital, I went to Sapa, London. The nurse was also present, They were asking the nurse, what did you give him? So she was telling, she was just talking. Me, I was shocked, but they didn't allow me to go inside. The way I was reacting. I just started the hospital. I sat outside, and I could listen to their conversation. The doctor was asking, what did you give him? What did you give this? Like the doctor was asking, when you come, while trying to put it in his vein, you're supposed to be calm with him. Did you do this? You did that? The nurse was asking those questions. I was outside, so they did so many things to revive him, yes, but I think like 20 minutes after, the doctor broke the news again that he's dead, and there's nothing we can do.
Oh my God.
From that spot, I didn't even know anything again. But I knew that I got back to, went back to the house. His body was taken home too, and the nurse was with us through the night. And after my father-in-law, the rest of the family came around. His friends also came around. We even had to get another nurse to come to the house to try to find something to do to his to him, but nothing was done. The nurse was with us throughout. When my father-in-law came to the house, the nurse narrated everything that happened to me. He wanted to get the nurse arrested. My father said we should allow her to go. That he doesn't have any business with the nurse, that she should go. And
Where's the nurse now?
The nurse, I think they've granted her bail. Okay. The nurse is out there. I saw a video of her last month. She was in club living her life. She was living her life. I saw a video. She was on makeup. She did frontal, living her life. It's just so unfortunate because somebody's life is on hold. A lady like you is not a widow.
That's a card. That's a card they play. A lady, a widow like you. I was wondering they are in the same game.
Just because of your mistake. And the nurse is out there living her life.
It's so sad. I'm a bit confused a little though, because I know that when this
what are confused? What else to talk? I want you to take it to 100,000 before I continue this. Let's take it to 100,000. Let's get the likes to 100,000 before we continue. Please continue to share the live broadcast, because the more people get to know, we get people to come into the crusade, because we have to get ready for September 11th. That is when I believe, in my own opinion, Mohbad left this sinful world. Because if you go into the account of Wunmi, with what she was saying now, you had her after they took the body. Get it? Don't get it twisted. From 4:30 to what it declared Mohbad gone from the second hospital. She said it here that there was traffic. So before they could get to the house, Opo, you are ready 8 o'clock. So for that reason, all this narration, Toffee and Bab, Toffee Shebogwe, certainly, most certainly, to 100,000. Let's go. So I'm going to play this back a bit. Kakogbo.
Come down from the car and carry on the bike.
So now, if Baba now entered into the house, I'm going to speak straight now. Found his son. He went upstairs. Nobody in the room. Found his body on the floor under the staircase. Saw blood, BLOOD, as he claimed. And then asked the wife. And there is no way he will be asking, because it will be at close range. Video call. It's going to be there one-on-one. Like, what happened to your husband? And if she is telling you he fought somebody, and the stuff that he fought, again, you're not aware. And at the end of the day, this happened, that happened, everything happened. It's going to be like, hello. He fought Prime Boy. You called in the nurse. The nurse said she's not around the first day. The nurse said she'll be around today. She came past 2 o'clock. I want to, we lost hospital in your Monday. So, hospital there were like Belehimbi. Hospital you know like pada sariwa gbelo. Because the Kuraben hospital is just less than 5 minutes from the house. So, if you have any idea hospital here, shebi ko ti ku. Kí ló dé tẹ́ wá decide pé kẹ́ gbé lọ hospital. Now, the Baba refused to actually speak to his son and say, "Oh, hello, I've heard you. You are the wife." A nurse came, gave him injection B after he was bleeding. But certainly, if Baba would be seeing that amount of BLOOD, if Mohbad had incident in the Ikorodu town hall and he was bleeding, police said the bleeding was put under control. That means there is no way that hand we originally will be giving that amount of blood on Tuesday. If anything will be coming out, it will be in English. Pause. It will be pause. It will be pause, not voluminous BLOD. So at the end of the day, if you, Baba, now saw that, you cannot conclude by speaking to her alone and not speak to your own son. This is at the point you will call Adura and say, "Adura, where are you? Can you see your brother there? He's no more. We cannot recover him again. What happened to him? Can you give me your own account?" For this purpose of you trying to balance the story. Because this is not even a natural death again. And if after Adura give you your account, which you never even tell us you ask Adura, the next thing any father will ask is this: the key person you are telling me is the nurse. Where is the same nurse? Where is the nurse? Let me ask the nurse. Is it the nurse that has been treating my son before? So that I can ask, why did you get, is it the first time you are injecting him? Why is this one so different? Then he would have been told, it's not even a nurse that we know. Mohbad does not know the nurse. If going by your account, it means that you, Wumi, you don't know the nurse. Going by your account, it means Adura does not know the nurse. So his spending is the one that knows the nurse. with the situation of Mohbad, him being beaten here and there. How can you come out and tell me you accept a nurse that you all don't know? And immediately the nurse came in, laying to Tini over 24 hours gap. You don't know who have ambushed the nurse, who have crossed the nurse to say, this is where you're going, this is what you're going to do there. You don't even know who is after the guy. Before you can be quiet, you have to check in your house first. Because if you don't go down from what is happening inside your house, it will be difficult for the outside to come. Now, suddenly, the same nurse came in, took Mohbad's life within 20-30 minutes. She set her eyes on Mohbad. And then you, Baba, you came into the house that same day. You saw the compromising state they kept your son. That this is not even, it's not even common sense. No matter how wretched I am, you cannot tell me that, what is the reason for embalming so quickly? You saw blood. You asked them, where is the hand that gave out this amount of BLOD? You now realize it's just small cut here. A father will look at it and say, I'm no longer shaking. At this juncture, you guys will have to start telling me what happened to my son. Any attempt to keep quiet or cover up, it means that you are the ones that did it. Because there is no possibility that an external person did this and you keep quiet. Now, when you now ask for the nurse, and the same Wumi, the Darosha, the younger brother, and even the spending cannot give account of the whereabouts of the nurse to your father-in-law. Tony, as at that time, I know spending would have been in that house. How come that kind of a nurse would not want to leave? Let's assume the nurse choose to elope. That is a serious cause to say we need to bring in the police now. Adura, Darosha, go to the police station and bring me police officers here. Tell them somebody injected my son and he passed away. The CCTV footage is available. Billard, send me a DM, please. Now, picture that. Which father? You now got into the house. They've embalmed, they've done that, then you now say, where is the nurse? I need to ask her, did anybody stop you? Did anybody call you? It is natural for the father to want to ask, did anybody even call you to threaten you or give you something to say, if you don't do it, please tell me, it's my son. The people that made us to fall into this trap are the people that were finding excuse for the father for being negligent and not caring for the boy. The moment you come up and say, nurse, so that nurse will want to go home and sleep. That is the moment you will know that if she had absconded the life of your son, that is where you would not even touch the body. Is his house? What he bele, what he embalm? Come on now. You will want the police to see how he was embalmed. Because you're not going to be fighting anybody. As a father, you have right to report to the police. Please call in the police and then you start calling people. So you know you have that kind of a person. Before I take wrong decision or rash decision, what should I do? But anybody knows that if there is anything you would have to do first, the fact that you came to that house, shows exactly immediately that the nurse is accessory after the fact. Why would you leave the scene when they just brought the body home? You would have no moral proclivity to leave that house even until 2-3 days. You won't. So how can the nurse leave? Kilo fẹ́ gbé nínú ta làwọn tó bí. Ó máa gbé odindi ẹ̀mí ọmọ èèyàn. Ó fojú rí ìyá ẹ̀, ó fojú rí bàbá ẹ̀. Ta ló wá sọ fún ẹ, ó dẹ̀ lè kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ without taking permission. Wọ́n bí ẹ dá. You cannot leave the house without taking permission. It's still a fresh incident. Police could come. Even you yourself, you'll be scared. The nurse will not want to go because they would not like, no, one of them must tell you, you can go. They must be willing to tell you, you can go. Somebody of a serious authority must be, even if they tell you, nurse, don't worry, you can go. You will still say, I'm not worried. Even after they tell you to go the first time, you will still be looking around. They will run into you and say, don't worry, I understand you are feeling guilty. I've accepted my fate. The only time such a nurse will leave is when the body is moved out, when they move the body out. You are lying and making a mess of us, and we keep telling you the truth, and these people will be going around, because as if the Baba is too tired. And they keep going to people's platform to ask those people to use the platform to patch up their lies and some unnecessary cost behavior. What if they want to do wrong? In le Yoba, you yawa lole. She spending loni kuma lole ni. Shadura no sọ fún pé you can go home. Nígbà tí bàbá ò tí dé. Ṣé Daro sha loni kuma lọ? Ṣé Wunmi loni kuma lọ? You never even told us that the moment you realize that nurse is lole, Baba ò lè wá rí gbogbo yẹn. No, ever so nonsense. Baba yóò lè rí gbogbo yẹn kó pé mo ṣẹlẹ̀. Mo ti gbà fọ́lọ́run ẹ jẹ́ wá gbọ́, ẹ má jẹ́ wá lọ. Ẹ wá dé, ẹ tún wá padà. Now, speak to yourself. Ẹ tún wá decide, all of you agreed. That means Baba is not accusing or suspecting anybody. In fact, kò tiẹ̀ béèrè lọ́wọ́ àdúrà. Ẹ wá ń lọ. Ẹ need the receipt, ẹ máa fi gbé body rìn. Ẹ wá yà police station. We need police report, administrative assistance. How do you want to tell the police? Give us police report. The report will be based on what? The police will give you reports. On what? On your personal testimony. At the end of the day, it is not even making sense. If your son cannot tell you, Daddy, doctor report here lawyer, because in Kuramed, the doctor's report was given to the lawyer. According to that hospital, I have evidence, and that is who they give it to, according to them. But whatever it is given to the family, is given to the wife was there. Adura was there. In Perez Hospital, of course, the same thing must have happened. If Baba's son can also deny, possible tell one day police station. You want if I issue police report on empty doctor's report. It is signed on, and that is the story they throw out to the public. But now I want to sign it on our package story voice on the all station settled. That was why they couldn't give them. If this time penny Samilari Naramali I want no one control whose fault is that? If you are unable to tell us they were the ones controlling you, but if you're right, any comment supply ishe and supply how? She better not share pay aye gbogbo yin wa jamon kokon. So better not the boy she beru won to. Let's say okay, these are the people responsible, but we should keep quiet and you all make a whole mess of a struggle. And the question is this: can you, Baba Mohbad, go and can Can you went through all this, bury the boy with the evidence, and still be asking the same police and government and they should go and find what by your son when you fail to actually process your own son? Ṣé ìtẹnu o ẹnu yóò ka ọmọ tẹbí lẹ fẹ́ sọ pé kí ìjọba dúró tì ṣọmọ yín yẹn go ní ṣe tánà dí ìjọba ṣẹ́yìn náà ní padà dojú tì ìjọba torí pé ohun tí ìjọba fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú tí NGO ti wá ṣe ẹ padà change ẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ ní orílẹ̀ fún wa gbẹ̀yìn. With your cronies, you are paying some terrible people to go on social media to be attacking. You think that is the end of life? Gbogbo yóò kọ̀ mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló lè pa bó ṣe pa Mohbad yẹn. Ẹlẹ́jẹ̀ funfun ni. Something terrible is about to happen if the right thing is not done on time. If the right thing is not done. If the right thing is not done on time. Saturday, ni mo kúrò mi báyìí tó kú níjọ́ Monday yẹn. I left here on Saturday. Mama Mohbad said she left Mohbad's house on Saturday. Mohbad went to show on Sunday, and she said he actually died on Monday. Mothers will never forget the day they give birth and the day their son actually left the sinful world. They hardly forget those moments. She said it not just in one place. She's confirmed the Monday on different occasions. Yet, the police and the government playing on the intelligence of the Nigerian public and went the other way. They called it, this is our own investigation. Because as at that time, they have a lot of agents out there to keep changing the narrative and go after people that have got voice, that want to actually speak the truth and help this case to help the society. Tó bá jí ọmọ má jẹ̀mú ló ṣe jẹ́ because ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ wò ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ó lè jí ọmọ má jẹ̀mú ni. Jésù Kristi ọmọ má jẹ̀mú ni. Ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo àwọn tó lọ́wọ́ nu kó àtàwọn tó try láti ṣèkà tó ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ wọn ìrandíran wọn ò padà jẹ́ nǹkan kan mọ́. And that is why we have to be very careful. I'm going to replay it again. Thank you. Listen carefully again.
Ló tẹ̀lé sí lọ́dọ̀ ẹni mọ̀ kó máa kú Saturday mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kúrò níbí báyìí tó kú níjọ́ Monday yẹn o nǹkan tí mo fi kúrò níbí báyìí Saturday pé ó fẹ́ lọ sí show ó dé bẹ̀ mí ó bẹ̀ mí 10 days yẹn tí mo lọ gan ó máa bẹ̀ mí á ní kí n má ti lọ mo wá ní ṣé kò ní jẹ́ kí n lọ sí church ní ọjọ́ Sunday pé mi ò tí ì lọ church fún 2 weeks pé mo fẹ́ lọ gbàdúrà pé mo ti lose ara mi pé mi lọ sí church torí church tí mo wá dárúkọ wá ṣe ní kí n máa lọ ní ìgbà má kúrò níbí báyìí torí wà tìyàwó ẹ̀ wọ́n ń tàn mí tí má lọ bá promise kí mo ti fẹ́ máa lọ fún mi lówó kò fún torí pé kí n má lọ kò tí ì fún mi lówó oúnjẹ má fún mi lówó oúnjẹ lóṣooṣù.
Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear me? Glory says network is bad. So can you see? She is a mother here. Ìyá Mohbad gangan ló sọ̀rọ̀ bí. Ìyí tó ṣe ń sọ létà yẹn wọ́n ti pààrọ̀ ìyá yẹn. As at this moment, she is playing the role of a mother. Ṣùgbọ́n ìjọ tó bá ti gba owó ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ti gba tó ń dúnàdúrà ikú ọmọ wọn tó gba owó yẹn sọ́wọ́, they are only coming to social media and lie and say ẹ lọ máa bú àwọn tó ń support tó ń ṣe kankan ẹ ń gbowó lórí ikú ọmọ ìtẹ̀yìn ti gbà tó jójú lówó tẹ́ fi pa inú dà tó máa padà bí. It is not out of arrogance. It's because as an NGO I'm going to do what I need to do. Èmi ò ṣe justice for Baba Mohbad. Èmi ò ṣe justice for Ìyá Mohbad. I am doing justice for Mohbad. If he was an orphan, he deserves justice. Injustice to one is injustice to all of us. He was trying to delay the murder, according to her. Don't go. Prime boy got it. Mohbad the bagger. Ó bọ̀ pé tó bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ̀lé ohun ara ti sọ fún tó bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ̀lé ohun délé ohun tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹjọ́ ẹ̀ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ibi tó bá dúró sí náà rí pé eléyìí ò ní fẹ́ gbà tí ó bá ti tẹ̀lé agreement wọn yẹn ibẹ̀ lọ́ máa jọ sí ọmọ aláwọ̀ méjì jọba ara wọn jà nǹkan yí mọ́ ọ lọ́wọ́ and they will find a way to make it look like Prime Boy attack Mohbad attack Prime Boy padà and that was the end. So Prime Boy should be grateful forever for Mohbad. But you will never follow me to the house. I will do something that will shock you, that will make you quickly go down, because you will like, wow. So instead of me to process, I say, Mohbad is a very cool and quiet person. He was the one that asked me to come. But immediately, he saw the sign that my time is up. He realized I invited this young person to come. I have to find a way to excuse him here, because if what will happen to me eventually will happen to me while he was in the house, they know he will be the only one that will want to speak the truth to the public, and they will delete him before they break. He's not going to accept what we say, and they will delete him. And they will cook up a story that will match up with the incident.
Of course.
So he never knew that the spirit of that boy saved him and said,
maybe we can.
Because
but
you were there, my father bone there. But
consciousness of it.
Just like as I was saying
lives,
to some people,
maybe somewhere, somehow, we chose where we
people now fought.
What am I trying to
3
say?
years, 4 years. Ma dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ṣe kíni tó bẹ́ẹ̀ sáré ọgbọ́dọ̀ fara gbàǹkan wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ fara gbàǹkan torí n tó ti pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tó ti just like the way the case is now.
They still do not understand how possible.
Tó mú yẹn tó ti wọ́n fi lè bọ́ yẹn ó máa ṣiṣẹ́ for a while.
Is it for
the moment tí wọ́n ṣí padà yẹn tó ti wú padà yẹn
to stay
èyí tó ṣiṣẹ́ lọ yẹn ó ti rìn lọ.
To everything
ibi tó dé tó sọlẹ̀ sí yẹn ìgbà tí wọ́n wú yẹn ntọ́ wú yẹn náà ṣe kàn wá bẹ̀rẹ̀
do not understand how comfortable it is. Of course, excuses have been made. Look at him. He appears to be a child who has some kind of challenges. Like he's not really that smart. He's kind of slow. No, not at all.
It's the truth.
Not at all. There are people who are excessively quiet, not because they have problems.
I can tell you all for free,
but because
nobody's going to get justice. And I can tell you for free, the Nigerian police will redeem the image. What the Lagos State Command has done in this case, the police will redeem.
Useless. And at times, because they've not achieved or attained what they wish to attain.
Has already put a
crack.
The enemies wants to enter. And they want to use it to destroy a lot of people's ambition and to create chaos in the society.
Chance, they become aggressive and violent.
Somebody has been writing here in the comment section. The CCTV is available. You would think they are joking.
If you look closely,
I don't know them. God sees my heart. I don't know the person.
Closely, and you take your time to look at
I don't know the person.
It seems there is something that he wants to talk about. It might not directly be
why don't
about how his brother passed
that's how
away.
they will come to tell you they have something.
It could be related events. I'm talking about how his brother passed away.
So the incident at which they recorded, see Adra no Nilowo. I can tell you for free.
Some of the lacunas of his own brother, he was Mohbad himself.
The mood at which it was recorded.
But regardless of that, he does not deserve to be unalived by anybody.
The content and the video in question, whatever it is in the video, does not belong to Damola. The phone in which the video is domiciled does not belong to Damola.
In fact,
the TikTok account that was used to shut me up does not belong to Damola.
But here,
the only thing is that they staged the boy.
He's not
just say you took the phone and you are the one chatting with your family. And commonsensically, the Damola is a diehard of Wumi. She's ready to do anything to stand for her.
Mohbad said some things. Cynthia also said some things in response.
Social media. I want to believe everything is comment section and social media. If you thought you they will keep deceiving you. They are young. I'm 20 something. They are throwing away your life because everything does not revolve around social media and comment section. The government can be deceiving you. Social media back on but the reality is that I don't know what it is. Go and look at the movers and shakers of each countries all over the world. Social media, few of them.
And you know this kind of rings. that this kind of punk ring, very big, and somehow it hit a part, but that was not the part that he got injured, because it was the ring that broke what it broke. Somehow he must have hit that part of his injury that he had before prior, traumatized it, and he got home. The place is swollen, maybe due to infection. They called in the nurse. What happened in between, we cannot say. But one thing I want to hold on to is this: Mohbad was warned about the dangers of continuing in relationship with Cynthia. There is a kind of horror around Cynthia that will unalive Mohbad. It doesn't have to be a direct thing, but in as much as that person is in your life, you are going to lose that life. How can that be proven in court? Difficult. And that's why we are where we are. It seems everything that will yield results or answers are being held bound to a point that no one has been able to successfully, without any form of hindrance, get any answers, produce evidence, clear evidence. Now, if toxicology cannot be performed, you cannot ascertain if something was injected into the IV line of Mohbad, or let's say it was injected to him intravenously, and there is no drip or line. But if there was, who knows who pulled what and who did not pull what? But with the amount of substance in Mohbad's body, it could cause a cardiac arrest. It could cause anything. But the way they described it, he said his temperature changed. He was feeling hot. He started having reaction. Wanted to stay where there is air conditioning. He didn't understand his body again. RIP was setting in slowly, moving towards him. Father and mother was not called. Okay, if we call them, this and that could happen to them. They might be like in a rush. Where we are is far away. At that point, at that time, they were looking for nurse to come and treat Mohbad at home. They could not quickly rush him. They could not rush him because, the time, there is no ambulance that can respond. They said his automobile had problems, true or false. We found out later that the driver who drove them in was still there. Or let's say he had left, because they said he slept over there. When Mohbad died, it's a big story. So complex and so mysterious that it will take us some light years to discover. So eventually, the nurse administered what she did. Hear what Yomi Fabi is saying, what our guest is saying. Like, how could it be that Mohbad's father got in there and handled this thing as if he was expecting Mohbad to buy? Or he was just so shocked that he could not take any reasonable action or think through. The nurse was called. They had to wait for the nurse. Like, I still don't get it. Okay, the nurse administered whatever to Mohbad, and apart from their own self-medication, whichever, I don't know. The nurse came in, administer what they want to administer. Either it's fake or original, we don't know. If what you administered is what she should, we don't know. Mohbad started reacting, and immediately Mohbad started reacting like, I'm feeling hot. I don't know if they felt hospital was not needed at that time. The thing happened like so fast. So fast. And according to them, before they could say Jack Robinson, before they could make any moves, Mohbad give up the ghost. But the talk is, oh no, he was fine. We took him to the hospital and then he pied there. Doctor said, no, he didn't pie here. He had already pied long time. Hours before he was brought in here. We called his brother, Darusha, uncle. Oh, I don't believe it. Take him to somewhere, let them confirm that he's not there. And they did. Maybe not. Okay? They did whatever they did. The thing is, if you are still making use of the services of an auxiliary, make sure that you know what you're doing. I know it can be very difficult for people to visit a private clinic and pay. Auxiliary nurses are very quick, fast. They come to you, inject you, take their little money, and that's it. In fact, they practice people calling nurse, home service, auxiliary nurses. How do you feel? I have a headache. My bones are paining me. Oh, that's malaria. Could it be something else? Oh, go and do blood test. Some might be a bit, go and do blood test. Let me know what and what it is. Even the administration of antibiotics. Anything, there is always one generic antibiotics that might not even work for you. What have you learned so far? I know it's difficult. It's difficult, but to be alive, I know when you're so sick, you just become vulnerable. Even as I speak, there are people who are being attended to by this same auxiliary nurse, not in a proper hospital, because they cannot afford it. And there are times the so-called proper hospital is being operated by the same unqualified auxiliary nurse. Now, this auxiliary nurse has some financial backup and they've built a clinic, use someone else's name to run it, and they are there. A lot of things are happening. Terrible things are happening. I don't know what your thoughts are. You've heard from our guests. Please do drop your comments. See you in the next update.